as well continue with the theme, huh? So you're good. This is off. Oh, that's right. This one doesn't have a cut on it. It's old school. There you are. Okay. I just vacuumed today, and I'm gonna have to vacuum again already. The entire floor is already covered with feathers. It's hilarious. Line her up. Really? No cooperation, huh? There you go. Well, that's why it's 210. The thread goes in deniers. The lightest I use is 70, mostly for crappie jigs, but there's some that I like more strength on. These smaller heads, I could probably get away with the lighter, but I don't have it in this color. And this is pretty much why my scissors are dull. A little bit. That way I don't have a pronounced hump and have to use more material to compensate. A little bit on head. A little bit on shaft. Yes, I said head and shaft in the same sentence. Excuse me for a second. I had to shut off the artificial sun behind me. All right. Now, secret with these smaller jig heads is trying not to use too much thread at the top and more on the hook to do that evening out I was just talking about. Because you're wanting to lay a solid base for your material. And, you know, tying crappie and bluegill jigs, it can be as complicated or as simple as you want. There are times where I go complex. Most of the time I like to be simple. So this one's pretty straightforward. Mostly baseline colors. There's some colors I just don't have in my inventory with various things, so I kind of have to make do with what I have and do as good as I can with it. And I don't need a lot of material for this jig, so I have to cultivate the feather a little bit and kind of make it work for me, because different parts of the feather have different lengths to them. And so there goes another piece. Some of the feathers are stronger than others, so when you get these stringed pieces from the store, they're actually strung together with linen. It's really best to look for a piece that's going to work for you. I kind of really don't always go through that. I just kind of cultivate and fly by the seat of my pants, really. But I know I don't need a whole lot, so I'm going to kind of refrain from using too much. I really need new scissors bad. See, I may end up even having to go to the store tomorrow, despite not really wanting to, because this is the only hobby I have right now. And I'm not going out in front of all sorts of people and exposing myself to all sorts of people. It's just not going to happen. I'm pretty much even putting a moratorium on seeing friends, even my own kids, unless it's something that I choose to do. And even then, when I choose to, you better believe I'm going to have a mask on doing it. Visited a friend today, had a mask on, not taking any chances. I am in the demographic of having health issues. I've had heart attacks, cancer, and diabetes run in my family. I don't need any help along the lines. None. So I'm trying to keep my distance from everybody, including those of you I love. Sorry, but fuck it. You know, the friend that I saw today was because we had mutual respect and things that we helped each other with. That's one thing. If it's for anything else, it's going to be on a time by time basis, because I'm literally in the last 2 weeks, with the exception of 2 times, been work home, period. And well, you kind of have to be that these days, because guess what? Coronavirus, COVID-19 is a bitch. It's killing people. I don't want to die yet. You know, I may come off as, having an attitude about life, but, realistically, I would like to be around for a while. I'm starting to. Do I have a lot of issues because of my age? Yes. Do I have a lot of issues because of how I've treated myself in the past? Yes. Am I trying to rectify that to a point? Absolutely. I'd like to continue that trend with the way that things are going now by, just not getting myself exposed. That needs to set to the side. I have an idea. Yeah, no. Ideas. How dare he have an idea? Okay. This one I already had preordained. And I'm basically just going to grab exactly what I need. Or think I need. Okay. Side with you. God, these scissors suck now. Not cool. Alright. So, we'll tuck this in. Pull. Wrap secure. Pull back. Nice and gentle like the rest so it doesn't flare too much. Come on. Dude, seriously? Come on. Go back. Go back. Go back. Back. Alright. There we go. That's all the more than I needed. You need to center yourself a little more on the back. And sometimes, if you want help, even though I'm going to be doing this in a minute with the other side, and I'm going to be putting thread on it, you just kind of lock it down with a little bit of super glue. I have 3 different kinds of super glue I use. I have this one, which is a precision applicator. It's got squeezers on each side, the tubes in the middle. Makes it really easy for pinpoint. And then this one, which almost exploded on me earlier because I had it pressurized preemptively, has a max strength formula, and it is a gel. So if I want long curing, I can do that. And then this is a pen application. It pulls off, and you literally press the pin tip to the surface you're mating. And that's how I do things. So I get different brands every now and then, but this Scotch brand's really consistent, even above and beyond other brands. I love Gorilla Glue. I just don't like their variety of super glue compared to other brands, which is unfortunate because I do love some of their super glues for other things. But not in this case. Got trim. Alright. And then I gotta go back up to my spot. See now, it's pretty much, well, you can't really see too much, but it's pretty much perfectly in line. There's always a bump from the collar in the front section. I have it evened out between material and thread. Makes it very easy to lay the chenille down and not have to use too much of it. I do want to have a heavy pattern on it, so it's going to be quite ferociously tight, just because I want to have a real tight knit on it. If I was going to put a hackle in it, I would make it fairly wide wraps but still tight, so that I could wrap it in it, unless it was real fuzzy chenille, and then it would be a lot different story. This, however, can be accomplished the way that I'm choosing to do it right now, which is very tight. And I try, tying for me is complex because I try to be fairly innovative, and you know, even when I was doing it before a long time ago, I had the tendency to kind of be eclectic and inventive in the way I did things. But there's something to be said about standard jig making practices as well. So I kind of try to pump the two together and make it work. I find that a lot of the conventional techniques of the crappie fly tires these days are really time-saving and material-saving, believe it or not. And I'm trying to emulate that, but I'm kind of failing. I'm using quite a bit of material and taking a lot of time to do it. So I haven't quite figured myself back out yet, because like I said, I used to do this a lot. I'm sure that fairly soon I'll figure it out. It hasn't happened yet, really. I mean, I've got a talent for it. You know, obviously people have already bought jigs for me. They like what I've done, so it's not a question of that. Everybody has their own style. I guess I'm kind of coming into that. I just really haven't figured out what kind of specific style I want to excel on. I haven't really gotten that groove done yet. I mean, obviously, crappie and bluegill jigs is my focus. I'll probably end up tying other flies that I've done before, but they will mostly be incidental terrestrials, things that fall in the water, like ants, beetles, cicadas, that type of thing. So you make it a little bit easier, really. This is called hardhead. It is a form of lacquer glue, and if you don't use an incredible amount of it, it just locks the threads and makes it pretty sheen, actually, even when it's dry. If you use too much, however, it becomes a disaster, and you can't get rid of the materials in it, and you have to let it cure. So this brand, this loon, it's pretty solid stuff. I kind of like their tools too. More than likely going to upgrade to those, or a couple other brands kind of piece them together. It's one of the things that I find is with these bobbins, I have like 5 different bobbins and they're different sizes. I really don't like that. I want to get one of the ceramic ones that has the side that comes off and you put the spindle on and tension it how you want it, and for the size spool of thread you're putting on. To me, that has more control to it. I think it would work better for me, but I'm doing what I can with the tools I have now because I lack the money for the vise that I want. And honestly, with the way that this thing with the COVID-19 virus has gone on, I don't want to spare the resources right now to do so. Uh, if I need to go out and get something that I need, I want to have the money there. So it's just kind of a personal choice that I hope benefits me because I got a pretty decent amount of stuff sitting in the house now. I don't think that we're going to have any issues for a while. And definitely not fighting with the other zombies over the fucking toilet paper. Goddamn idiots. That's something that just really pisses me off to no end. I don't fucking get it. Anyway, so the thread is kind of a peach color, but it matches fairly well. The head still has the eyes available to see, and I've got blue and pink in it. Kind of an eye catcher. Crappie happen to really love pink. They like some types of blues, and that one should serve me fairly well, unless of course I lose it. And then one that I did last has a shock of purple, pink head, 1/8 ounce black thread, yellow body, and orange. And I mean, I do all sorts of varieties. Put the eyes on myself. I actually take the regular round heads and flatten them out so I have a surface to put them on, which this one, which I'm hoping for deep jigging will work really good. I really severely flattened the head, severely, and then I filed it down and put standard silver eyes on it. A little bit of dark, a little bit of light, kind of to mimic a shiner minnow. I imagine it'll work pretty good. I've been trying to find lead heads that are round like this off the bat because with the bigger eyes they really tend to pull crappie in, and that's my primary quarry these days because my shoulders are just not what they used to be, man. They are not. But anyway, that's another one curing, and yeah, pretty cool.